The lecture hall of the Galactic Naval Academy fell silent as Admiral Zephys 9 paused mid-sentence, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she processed the human's question. The holographic display behind her showed the magnificent fleet formations of the Krillian Armada, each vessel designated by its precise alphanumeric code, KDF 7742, KDF 7743, KDF 7744. Names. Admiral Zephys 9's voice carried the slight mechanical undertone common to her species. Vessel designation serves identification purposes. What function would names serve? The human, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen, remained standing in the amphitheater filled with cadets from 17 different species. Her simple blue uniform stood out among the elaborate ceremonial garb of her alien classmates. Well, Admiral, human ships have always had names. It's tradition. Tradition, repeated Commander Vexhai, the Zentaurian tactical instructor, his mandibles clicking dismissively. Inefficient emotional attachment to inanimate objects. Sarah's eyes sparkled with something the aliens had learned to recognize as dangerous in humans, the look that preceded their most incomprehensible behaviors. May I tell you about a ship, Admiral? Admiral Zephys 9 gestured with a tentacle. Proceed, though I fail to see the relevance. Her name was HMS Warspite, Sarah began, her voice carrying across the vast hall. Built in 1913, she served for 30 years. But she wasn't just hull number whatever it was. She was Warspite, the ship that wouldn't die. The alien cadets leaned forward despite themselves. Human stories had a peculiar quality that transcended species barriers. At the Battle of Jutland, she took 15 direct hits from enemy battleships. Her steering jammed, and she sailed in circles, drawing fire from the entire German fleet while her crew fought to regain control. They did. She limped home, repaired herself, and sailed again. Commander Vexhai's antennae twitched. Standard. Damage control protocols. Any well-designed vessel? During World War II, Sarah continued, ignoring the interruption, she took a guided bomb that went through 6 decks before exploding. Killed and wounded hundreds. Any rational crew would have abandoned ship. Her smile was sharp. Warspite's crew put out the fires, patched the holes, and sailed her into battle again 3 days later. The hall was completely silent now. Even Admiral Zephys 9's usually restless tentacles had stilled. But here's the thing, Sarah said, beginning to pace. When they finally tried to scrap her after the war, Warspite broke free from her moorings in a storm. Twice. The ship that had served for 30 years, that had been in more battles than any other vessel in human history, refused to die quietly. She ran herself aground on the rocks of Cornwall as if choosing her own final resting place. A young Altarian cadet raised a crystalline appendage. The ship chose. Ships have souls, Sarah said simply. At least human ships do. We don't just build them. We birth them. Every rivet placed with purpose, every system designed not just for function, but for character. We name them for heroes, for virtues, for dreams. And somehow, in ways we don't understand, they become more than the sum of their parts. Admiral Zephys 9's primary brain lobe pulsed, a sign of deep consideration. This is illogical. Vessels are constructed materials, metal, polymers, energy systems. So are humans, Sarah replied. But we're more than that, aren't we? The silence stretched until Cadet Thalok, a young Vorthon whose species prized pure logic above all else, spoke, hesitantly. The human fleet records show anomalous performance statistics. Vessels operating beyond design specifications in critical situations. We attributed this to superior human engineering. Sarah laughed, a sound that always made the aliens uncomfortable in its pure chaotic joy. Superior engineering? Our ships are held together with spare parts and stubbornness half the time. But they fight for us because we love them. Because every human ship carries the dreams of everyone who built her, sailed in her, died for her. She gestured to the holographic display. Your ships are marvels of engineering, Admiral. Perfect, efficient, logical. But when was the last time one of your vessels did something impossible? When did KDF 7742 ever exceed every parameter, break every rule, perform miracles because her crew believed in her? The alien officers exchanged uncertain glances. Their ships performed exactly as designed, always. No more, no less. I've served on 7 different human vessels, Sarah continued. Each one was different. Enterprise was proud, never backed down from a fight. Endeavor was clever, always found a way through impossible situations. And Defiant, her voice softened. Defiant was stubborn. Refused to die even when logic said she should. Saved my life twice by doing things no ship should be able to do. Admiral Zephys 9's voice was quiet when she finally spoke. And you believe this soul comes from names? Names are just the beginning, Sarah said. They're how we tell each ship she matters, that she's unique, that she's loved, and maybe, just maybe, that love makes them fight a little harder, fly a little faster, hold together a little longer when everything depends on it. The lecture hall remained silent for a long moment. Then Cadet Thalok spoke again, his voice uncertain. What would you name our ships, Human Chen? Sarah smiled, and for the first time since entering the academy, she felt truly at home. Well, that depends. What do you dream of? The question hung in the air like a challenge, like a promise, like the first breath of something new being born among the stars. Outside the Academy's vast windows, the Krillian fleet hung in perfect formation, each vessel identical in purpose and designation. But somewhere in that lecture hall, something had changed. For the first time in their logical, efficient history, 17 different species began to wonder what their ships might become if they dared to give them souls. The human had done it again, taken their certainty and turned it into possibility, their efficiency into dreams. And despite every logical protocol, every rational objection, they found themselves hoping she was right.